trying to get us updated, but we work it out. And everybody can join now, so thank you for being here. Today is May 22nd, 2023. This is the planning board for Warren, Massachusetts at 7:20 p.m. Could we have everybody stand up for the pledge of allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we're going to start with a public hearing on special permit number 308 for Samek Properties LLC under section 3.25.1 of the Town of Warren zoning bylaws. The applicant is seeking a special permit to allow a 60 by 120 feet steel building with an overhang to house and maintain necessary equipment for operation of sand and gravel pit located at 275 Springfield Road, Warren. The parcel is also known as Assessor's Map 30 Lot 04, which is in the Rural District. Copy of the application may be inspected in the Office of the Planning Board and Town Clerk Office during normal business hours. You guys are here? Is that you?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Samick has asked both myself, Rebecca, Sarah, and Rich Demetrius to help him with this permit. I would first ask that you take a look at the posting. We have a concern that it's under section 3.25.1, which is industrial. We feel that's the wrong application of the bylaw. It should be under 3.23 commercial, subsection 15, which is contracting, business, and equipment. So before we get too much further into this, I didn't know if the board, after speaking with the zoning enforcement officer today, she agreed that the board, because it is a less restrictive benchmark to meet, that the board can certainly make that correction and note it in the record without having to go reapply and advertise and so forth.
Interesting.
It's fun.
Building commissioner is saying that, right?
Yep.
How did the 3.25.1 get on there in the first place?
Well, we don't, that's funny, because we don't know. If you look at the application that you have in front of us, the copies that were provided by the office on page 2 of 3, right under the book and page number, it says the special permit application is being requested under blank section. So I don't know how the 3.25.1 got in there. That wasn't by the owner, Mr. Samick. So maybe, I don't know if it was just I'm assuming it's a clerical error, simple as that. There's no ill intent, but we don't want to move forward under that premise and have problems down the road.
Jill, do you have an idea of what happened?
Yep, I emailed everyone the posting, and then Rich said, ask BJ, so we went over to BJ. She's suggested the steel building, but she said that that's what it was, and that's what we put.
3.251? That's what she asked?
Whatever is on here is what BJ asked. There's an email. I can.
You're saying that you spoke with BJ today?
I spoke with her today, and I said that this, I don't know how it got, she didn't say she did it. When I spoke to her, she said, I'm not sure how it happened. I said, well, it's not an industrial storage facility. This is under the contracting section. It's just a personal garage for storage of equipment, bulldozers, trucks, and maintenance on the said equipment. And it should be, we would like it put back under that, and we were question, could we just do an administrative change at the meeting rather than have to do a whole refile? Since she goes, yeah, that shouldn't be an issue at all. So she didn't say she did it. Nobody. I said, I don't know who did it. I know that the applicant said he didn't do it because he was very confused. So that we'd just like to get that.
But I can tell you, and first of all, I want to apologize for not standing up and.
No, that's okay.
So thank you. I was kind of taken back by the zoning determination that she provided. It was on a sticky note. For working for the town of Warren for 20 years in building and zoning and board of selectmen. If you pull the former inspector, Jack Keogh's zoning determinations, you will find that he hits every single point. and helps the applicant, to provide the information to the planning board on what is necessary. So, there was, I was taken back by the lack of effort by the commissioner. So, but like I said, it's not a big change. Actually, it's less restrictive. The industrial has more components that you have to meet. So I would ask the board that we be able to continue with this hearing tonight to move forward. This gentleman has waited quite a long time.
You didn't get anything in writing from BJ saying? No.
I called her last week,
Several.
Thursday, and I called her again Saturday, and then she called on her way. She said, hey, I'm sorry, I was at a graduation, I'm in my car, and so we discussed it on the phone.
What do you guys think? I don't know, she's not here, there's nothing in writing.
Problem was, then it wasn't filed or posted correctly.
We do have the applicable law, you could look it up, and we have everything here ready for you to act on with the section it should be under. And again, as far as the posting was for a more restrictive, so anybody with any concerns, it would be a more restrictive. Going the other way would be a problem. If you're going from less to more, I can see a situation, but we're going from more to less. Anybody who would be concerned would already be here.
The difference is commercial versus industrial. It's not like it was advertised as this warehouse thing and you want to put in, say,
Amazon.
Amazon or a solar field or something like that, where it's something completely different. It is very similar, but yet but it is different.
But shouldn't she have provided one of the sub numbers then?
Absolutely.
She absolutely should.
So 323, I don't know.
3.2, 3.15.
And that's what we're getting at, that there was nothing in.
In section
provided.
5 and 5.3, which is special permit and site plan review.
I get your point. I understand where you're going and everything. I'm just afraid that, we somewhere got screwed up and legally we can't. I don't have that information right now.
And we don't want to see Mr. Samick be tied to this 3.25.1, which is incorrect either.
David, any feedback? You?
Well, if it was posted incorrectly, you'd have to, I would say, again, not reassess a fee, he's already paid a fee. It was a clerical error.
Mhm.
If it was supposed to be filed under something else, you would have to advertise it under what it's supposed to be filed. And to clarify that, we'd have to continue it, repost it under what it's supposed to be as. That's the only way to clearly avoid any type of legal challenges to it. So it would have to be continued and reposted. But I wouldn't assess him another fee again for another $300, because it's not fair to him, he's already paid a fee. But it appears like it was a clerical error.
On our part, right?
Well, if BJ ruled that it should be under industrial, we don't have BJ here either to question her on that and say what was going on. I do agree that if BJ is gonna be doing opinions on any type of project, they should be done on a memorandum, and it should be presented as a record. A sticky note should never happen.
And honestly,
It's
her
unprofessional.
notes on the sticky note itself, it wasn't clear as to whether she was acting as a building commissioner for certain things about a construction plan, or if she was making a zoning determination, so that wasn't even clear.
And I talked to her about that today, because she was asking on the sticky note for structural drawings and everything, and I said, were you asking under the building commissioner or under the planning board? Because planning board is the use permit, not a, no, that must have been under the building inspector side. I said, okay, well, once he gets to that phase, absolutely, that's all gonna be provided, but we don't think he needs structurals for, special permit. She goes, no, you don't need structural. But the problem is, she didn't put anything in the writing. On the card, there's no, she told Jill, I guess, verbally to do it.
Through
But,
email.
But we don't see it anywhere in the permits. It was with the town clerk, so.
So I think the only fair thing to do would be to continue it, clarify this on our part, get a reason why BJ said to do that. But if it's, well, looking at, a different, say subsection, it wasn't posted correctly. So we'd still have to post it correctly, and the only way to do that is to continue it. And that's what you guys are really looking for, is just a
Yeah, yeah.
continuation.
We
And
just
it's to
want
be
it clear.
posted and clarified
Clear
under the
and the
proper
right way.
section.
And file under the right way, that's all.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So you guys are, well, you can't ask them because Mr. Samick hasn't actually appointed you guys as a representative.
Yep.
You're not a legal team, and he didn't give us anything saying that you were consulting on this
Right,
project.
But
So,
we will.
I know you,
Notarized. Yep.
so Mr. Samick would have to actually say that and agree to this. I understand your concern, Rich and Becky, but there's nothing saying you can legally do
No,
that for him right now.
No,
No,
we
we'll
understand that.
get that notarized, that's
Need it
fine.
writing, basically?
Well, actually, it's on the special permit application for us to act as his agent, so, which we will get to you for the next meeting, so.
You guys probably should have some sort of contract drawn up between you two, giving you authority and what
Between
you'd be
I?
doing. Not between you two, whatever you guys want to do between yourselves, but with Mr. Samick and you guys to prevent, so you know exactly what you can do, what he wants you to do, and what your limitations are, because he may turn around later on and say, I'm not saying he would, but he could challenge something you said.
Right.
And
no,
say that
no.
was incorrect, you guys didn't have the authority to do that, you overstepped.
Right.
And that could get you guys in trouble
But part
too.
of your application is to have us he has to fill it out to appoint us as his agent, and we get it notarized, and that goes in your record, so you guys are clear.
And then my other question would be is, you were previously a town employee.
Mm-hmm.
Has it met this,
Sniff test?
well, have you given enough time, isn't it 2 years?
3 years.
It's 3 years?
I've been out for 3 years, so.
You've been out for 3 years now? Okay.
Yeah.
Because you can't consult
Mhm.
as a previous town employee, so we just want to make sure you don't get in
Yep.
trouble for that
No,
too.
no, no, I
So,
appreciate that. I did think of that.
all right.
I know it's been
I know
all
you're
these
smart,
years.
you knew that would be coming up.
Not gonna jeopardize my character or
Can
reputation.
Richard do it being on conservation?
Hmm?
Can Richard do it being on conservation?
Yeah,
It's not before the conservation, so,
Okay,
he's not a town employee,
yeah, he's appointed.
he's appointed, where Becky was actually an employee of the town,
Right.
but he was actually not appointed, but an elected position, right?
there's no difference in
No,
me,
he's
No, not
No,
the
appointed.
there's no difference in me doing this or going for myself for my permit, which I'll be going for next week, so.
Okay.
And it's not before Concom.
He'd have to
so-
recuse himself, that's for
Right,
sure.
absolutely.
Anything conservation,
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
that one would be a little more trickier. Definitely, you'd have to recuse yourself at least.
Oh, absolutely, yep.
So I think the application, what does the application say? Does it say 3251?
It says nothing.
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 Doesn't say anything.
That's what I need.
Yeah, I didn't see anything on the application. There's nothing
There
on
was
the
nothing on the
application.
application that I
Nope.
seen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jill's.
But it's how it was posted.
Right.
So I would say, fill out that second page again
Is it the right one?
and give it to us, right? So it's got the right.
Okay.
And then we can repost it.
But if it's, now there's representatives too.
Yeah, we'll get
Well,
It's
that.
all
yeah.
different. Should it just start and
Yeah,
just
maybe
kind
just
of,
We
redo
can
the,
do a new one.
don't
got
have
the
to drag
original-
out the
Yep.
date
yeah.
Yeah, we'll
as
do a
soon
new
as
one.
it's in.
Mhm.
or pick the date now if you can get, I don't know if you could do that ahead of time, but
Do you have a date for the next,
yeah, our next meeting is June
12th.
June 12th, yeah.
Are we re-advertising the 2 weeks?
You have to.
Is that enough time?
where do you advertise, Joe?
Turlock.
where
She
on the-
needs it the Monday
Yeah.
of before 2, Monday of the week of.
So you probably have to get it in
Yeah,
this
no,
week.
if we wanted it in,
Because of the
we have to do
holiday.
2 weeks ahead, right? And there's a holiday. Monday's the holiday.
So you have to.
Have to do it this week.
This week.
Right. So if you, like by the end of the week or Wednesday?
Yeah, just the new front, just we need the new application, but we have the fees, we have everything.
Yeah.
Just to fill out that first with the proper code and the authorization. Yeah, if you get it in before Thursday, it should be able to go on.
Yeah.
So we can, Mr. Samet, can get that to you tomorrow.
And then because of the holiday, I'm not, if it can't make it on, then do the 26th. If for some reason it comes in late or Thursday or we don't have it in the time, that could be the next date.
Well, we can do that tomorrow. Yep.
Oh, you're saying, yeah,
Yeah, if it's tomorrow and
We'll get it
everything's,
to you
yeah.
tomorrow, so you can get it to the paper.
Okay,
as long as she can get it in this week.
yeah, that
Yeah.
would
12th
be
is
fine.
good.
Mhm.
Do you have a time
For
for the hearings?
7:15.
So we
We just continue it.
just continue the meeting?
Or we can.
Motion to continue.
It's not a continue because it's new.
It's gonna be a new application.
Well,
It is, but it is not.
With no new fees.
So I tell you what, why can't we withdraw it without prejudice?
you can do that.
Yeah, do that, that makes it easier.
Okay,
Just resubmit it, time clock starts over,
okay.
and we re-advertise, but then, you're not getting hit with a fee.
Right.
So can you do a letter, just say we withdraw without prejudice our first application, we'll give you a new number.
So,
So withdraw 308,
Mm-hmm.
right, and then she'll get a new
So-
number?
hold on one second,
Yeah.
we have nothing to say, and you can speak on this
Can
the
you,
same
can
time.
you ask them to withdraw?
Mike, can you ask him that?
We would withdraw without prejudice. Now,
You're
you
requesting
said
your
the
permit
time
be
start-
withdrawn.
You said the time starts over. Now, what's that mean? That you got the 90 days to tell me I can or can't, or from the last time, or how does that?
You're withdrawing your permit,
Yeah,
and you're submitting a new one,
yeah.
okay? That's the way you guys wanna go, correct?
Well,
That's where they have
we'll
to
go
go.
that way as long as you guys are, I know you work with us, you're not gonna, I mean, everything's in,
I mean, we're running out of,
it's just one number.
I know it's summer, we're running out of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, as long as we can get an assurance that we'll expedite it.
We're just, once you submit the paperwork, we advertise it, and then we have you in for a meeting.
Yep,
So we're already talking the dates, so we're already in
Yeah.
agreement with that, we're on
Okay.
record
yep, good.
Yeah.
agreeing with it.
All right,
So,
That'd be
no,
good.
we're good with that.
okay, and that's your request, sir, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's the 12th, as long as we can get everything in,
Yep.
and if not, then we can always do the 26th.
We'll work with 12.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
either way, okay. And then a letter about withdrawing without prejudice.
We'll get that to
So
Jill
that
and
wraps that up.
we'll copy the town clerk on it.
Yeah, okay.
And, I'll tell you what, I know that the vote should board, in the, through, maybe Mr. Samet can ask if the board would like to take a vote to withdraw without prejudice.
Would you like to vote without? What she just said.
Did you vote on that?
Or do you continue it until the letter comes in and then it,
And then we
I don't
just
know.
close it.
I haven't had this happen yet, so.
We can
I tell you
close
what,
it
why
on
can't we just
verbal.
file a whole new application, and then at the next meeting, we'll withdraw?
Close it and, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, so you continue this to the next
Okay.
meeting and do whatever needs to be done at the next meeting with this one.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that a new one can't be
Right.
applied for.
All right.
Yeah, because I think we're kind of getting into too much here.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So we'll keep
You
it
think it
going.
would be that simple, but
So motion to continue.
Yeah,
it's, yeah, and then they'll file a new app, well, no.
so they'll do the withdraw, we'll vote
Because
on
then you
that.
have two applications for the same property.
I think we've got a verbal that he's gonna withdraw.
On record.
You know,
On.
Believe me, he doesn't want the industrial park.
No.
Yeah, because you'd have, well, he's withdrawing the permit.
I think the board has to have a extensive good faith towards the applicant
yeah.
in light of
I
the
think
error
at some
on the
point,
town's
you know,
part.
he's requesting withdrawal from his permit. I think if we do a vote on that, that gives it to him. He's withdrawing his permit without prejudice, the fee is returned, and then he files a new one. And, because we haven't done anything,
Mhm.
and then he pays his fee, and we start new. Because I think we're getting too much into it. He's requesting the withdrawal.
Okay,
But if you've
Vote
already advertised, you can't, you've got to
to
pay the
accept the
bill.
withdrawal. We vote now to accept his withdrawal, and
and
that's
then
it.
close the hearing.
Can we add to the withdrawal that under, because of errors on the town's side?
That he doesn't have to pay again, though, either.
Yeah, we're not assessing the fee,
Yeah.
so,
Okay,
you know, there's no fee. We already said we would
okay.
return that fee,
Okay.
It's
Oh, so
just
just
the-
return the fee and return it back? Just back
and then you give it
forth?
back.
Just the advertising fee that we would eat.
We'd have to eat the advertising fee,
Because it's our, yep.
but we made the mistake then, right?
Yep.
So. Okay. So.
All right, so I'll make a motion to accept the withdrawal of special permit 308 without prejudice.
Second,
All in favor?
Drew King, aye.
David Dufresne,
Derek Bailey's aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. I'll make a motion to close the public hearing for special permit number 308.
Second,
All in favor?
Drew King, aye.
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Richi Hacker, aye.
Motion passes.
I think that does it, right?
Think we should be good.
Thank you very much.
So we'll-
In our eyes, you're cleared up,
And
you're
we'll-
starting fresh.
We'll start over. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so next we have continue the public hearing on special permit number 307 for Route 19 Materials LLC under the section 3.28 earth removal pursuant to section 8 of the Town of Warren zoning bylaws. The applicant is seeking a special permit to remove earth material from the property located at Brimfield Road, Warren. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You just had a couple of changes you wanted, so I'll have the engineer come and show
Yeah.
you those, if that's what it is.
Okay.
Good evening,
Hi.
Mark Farrell, and I sent an email, I believe, to you with the revised plans, and I have hard copies here. If you want me to,
Thank you.
so basically, since the last meeting, I went back a couple times with emails, and what we did is we left a 200-foot buffer from the property line on the street side, and also 250 feet from any dwelling. And in the bylaw, it makes reference to the board can require up to that amount of distance from those two setbacks, so we provided that. In addition, I provided a couple sections through the middle from the road to the back of the undisturbed area. 2 sections, A and A prime, and B and D prime. So I think that'll result in this 200-foot buffer. You won't be able to see it from the road.
I did ask once in a project to an engineer, I said, am I be able to see the project in the winter? And he said, you won't be able to see it. Guess what? We can see it. Do you think we're gonna be able to see it?
Well, it's 200
There is a.
feet of tree
In the
buffer.
winter?
That I don't know.
At least you were honest,
But the-
because the first one told me that, no.
But in the special permit, they make reference, you can't, 200 feet, and that's not so much for the buffer, so you can't visually see it, it's so the project doesn't undermine the road. And we're 250 feet, we're level with the road. We're 200 feet from the road property line, and it's not gonna undermine the road.
This grid's in,
What's that?
What's the elevational change, if you know?
It's pretty-
between
it's
the
gonna be
road and
pretty level.
200 feet? Level?
Yeah. I mean, it's slightly uphill. The first 200 feet of the property is somewhat level, and then when you get in about 250 feet, it starts to go up.
yeah. So you're gonna take that little hill out.
It's all sand material, right?
Yes.
It shouldn't be too much of a problem with rain runoff, because you got 250 feet
This is
of a buffer, and then you also, it's very porous.
Very porous.
I mean, you're 250 feet from the nearest structure, house.
There's one structure on the same side of the road, and that one extends beyond the 200-foot setback from the road.
Yeah, see, you got one here, that the house is.
So I have those
250.
little, it's a dotted line that runs within that tree buffer on the frontage, and then on the, I guess it would be the north side of the project, there's one house, one dwelling. And that dwelling actually had a gravel operation behind their house.
There's a buffer field that's in front of all of this, it's already grown up, that we're not touching. From the house, I mean, from the road, back 200 feet, it's just a natural field that's overgrown, that we're not clearing it, we're not going into it, we
Yeah.
have no reason to.
I don't know what the vegetation is for the winter. I don't remember if it's pines or
You know.
leaves. I don't, if it's pines, then it'll be green for the winter. I didn't pay attention to them.
But I don't get why we're trying to screen things when none of the other pits in town are screened. It's never been requested to be screened, and it's not on the bylaws to have them screened. You're asking for not to undermine the roads, which we're not. We're saying there's a natural screening that's currently there that we're not gonna touch. We had no anticipations of touching it in the beginning. You asked last time we were here to go back 200 feet, we've done that. And from the dwelling, 250 feet, we've done that also. So I don't understand why there's something else now. I don't get it.
What is this, something else?
Well, no, I don't understand what else you want. I mean, you had said you're worried about the winter, being able to see from the winter. You might very well be able to see. We can't promise you anything.
I know, I understand.
We're not touching what's currently there.
And that's a good thing.
Brookfield Road, it's not a scenic road, is it? It's
No.
not clear.
No.
It's scenic.
No, it's not.
I don't know, I mean, they've done what we asked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Everything we asked for the sections, for the
Mhm.
buffer to be delineated, to far enough from the house.
You don't have to stand there the whole time with that. We're good. We got them in front of us.
Say that again?
You don't have to stand in front of us the whole time
Well,
with their
it's-
holding it. I don't want you to become like a human easel or something, you know?
I don't know what that thing is, I was gonna leave it.
That's the
there.
owl.
That's the what?
That's
The
the
owl.
camera.
Okay, I thought the cameras are up there.
No, it's
No,
not
they're
right
they're
there.
right here.
Oh, okay.
Whenever you
Well, we
talk,
wanna
it pans
block-
to you.
We don't wanna, that thing spins?
Yeah, it turns right to you. See, it's like focusing, as you talk, if
If
other
I
people
talk, it comes to me.
it will come to you.
Wow,
No. Technology.
I guess.
Yeah, it prevents them having to move cameras around.
What?
Is that 25 feet?
I have no idea.
Your,
20.
your setbacks at the north side of the property, is that 20 feet,
From the property
20
25?
feet's right here, this dotted line is 20 feet, and that's what the bylaw calls for, is 20 feet from the property line. So see that that line right there, that's 20 feet. The property line's the dark line down the middle of the cart path, and 20-foot offset is this half-tone line right there.
I think he's good. He's done everything.
Yeah, I hope he
Yeah,
doesn't
he's
find
good.
any American Indian remains over there.
Well, I'm sure all through Massachusetts, no matter where you dig deep enough, you'll
I've
find
done
something.
I did some work in Sturbridge, and there's a lot of Native Americans, and they typically like to be near water. So this particular site is near water. This one's not near water, it's basically upland.
There's nothing in our bylaw requiring us to do an archaeological survey on any type of projects. So we couldn't even enforce something like that because we don't. It's a good idea though, probably something we should consider here eventually.
Yeah, we have to work on that. I hate to see all those trees and vegetation and animals. You know where I'm nothing against you. It's just the type of project that, it just, where I come from, things like this started. And, if I go back now, it's terrible. All Massachusetts is trying to save land and do this and animals, it just breaks my heart. Cutting all those trees just breaks my heart.
But we gotta go by what we have in front of us and what the law
That's
is
fine.
stating,
I
what our
just-
bylaws allow. And, we've met what the bylaws require, unless we change the bylaws for sand pits or anything like that, or quarries in town. They're gonna be here. We allow them.
Yeah.
And this does have to be restored when you're done,
Oh, yeah,
right? I mean, that's in the bylaw.
absolutely.
Or when you close a section, right?
Right. So when we reach 7 acres, we have to
Yeah.
change it, or, whatever.
Yeah,
It may be before then, but I'm just saying that 7 is the most we can have open at any given time.
right.
That's all under section 8.6 and it's very clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys have any more questions?
Did everything we
Yeah.
asked.
All right, so I'll make a motion to
Let's-
close.
Public? No questions in the public? Zoom? Do you have any questions in Zoom? Say no.
Receive any correspondence of any kind of opposition to this?
I did not, sir.
Did we, Joe?
No?
All right, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing on special permit number 307 for Route 19 Materials LLC.
Do you have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
Drew King, aye.
David Dufresne, aye?
Derek Bailey's aye.
Rich Hacker, aye.
We close,
Yeah, but we gotta come up with a decision and then vote.
okay. Do we get any,
Do you have an extra map that I have for
What's
here,
the
or
name
you
of
just
this?
sprung through?
What did you say?
conditions to this?
I gave them two. You want-
Bylaws.
Oh, yeah, I just need one and you,
Yeah.
okay.
We
No,
have
we have the
two up
digital,
here.
so I just needed one. We're good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, the bylaws. You know, I just say make sure that you adhere to the 250 feet from a structure as done. It's probably not fair if somebody decides to build a house on there.
No, once they're
Right next to
permitted-
it, it's as it's approved now.
Yeah, if they're permitted then.
Right. And then, you know, the 200-foot buffer, 20 feet from the property line. You know, the same stuff that we pretty much put in now. You know, as long as we just reiterate that in the conditions. I have no opposition to it. They're not using chemicals or anything other than maybe some diesel inside the equipment. So, and that falls into certain requirements, like if there's spills, how large they are, you'd have to have it cleaned up and stuff, so that triggers other things, but you know, as far as what he's done here, he's done all the things we've asked, we got it. We just gotta do the conditions, but as far as approving the project, I'm good with it. You know, there was no opposition to it, and, you know, Mr. Fountain's he's always been a respected member of our community and done what we've asked, so.
And I'm sure if something goes wrong, you will help us, right?
I'm not, yeah.
This is his home too.
I'm not going very far away.
We know where
Come
you
see
live.
us.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I think we get shy with some of these things because we've had people do things in the past that, which you guys are opposed to, and, you know, burying stuff on their properties that they shouldn't be burying up there.
Yep.
None of that. You've never been accused of any of that stuff. You've always had a good reputation, good standing in our community, so.
Yeah,
Thank you, by
and-
the way, for all you do.
And like I said, nothing that you, personally against you guys, just that probably most of us got into the planning board when we had all this solar arrays in town, and I say, well, yeah, I like to be green, but not cut the green for that. So it's the cutting that, you know, it makes me sad. I understand it's a business and it's allowed and everything. It's just, you know, that's my point. But
Well, that's why they're only opening up, you know, between 5 and 7 acres at a time, and they're not clear cutting, you know, 100 acres
Yeah.
and putting in steel and stuff. Basically, essentially paving a 100-acre lot, you know, and they're not doing that. He's opening up sections, and then he has to return them back to the original, well, not original, but
Just revegetate.
revegetate the area. So,
all right.
So
So
do we want to set a possible vote next meeting?
no?
Can you do it, you know, the template up for this? And then we can fill in the conditions?
Yeah, you can do possible vote, and that gives us 2 weeks to get it together.
Mhm. So if we did a vote, we'd have the paper or the decision done and have a vote. And then that'd be it.
I guess that's something we can do tonight, though. There's a 20-day appeal period after this, right?
Yeah, but then we have like short, once we vote, we have short time for her to do
Yeah,
everything.
They have 90 days to make the decision, but if they vote the next meeting, then we have 14 days to get it out. And yeah, you have to wait the 20 days from that date.
Very short. It's
Yeah.
just-
It's
Yeah.
20 days from when it's filed.
Yeah, from when it's filed, which is
Yeah.
usually the next day.
Yeah.
And we need time to do the conditions and just make sure it's all written up and stuff, so.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't take long. I don't foresee us taking 90 days in any way.
No, yeah.
You know, next meeting probably, right?
I
Yeah,
think
next
so.
meeting.
Unless we hit a snag, but I don't see why we would.
Hurricane, tornado,
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Hurricane 20.
No, it's
Well,
not.
then we don't have to worry about them taking the trees down. Okay.
It's-
Okay,
So, till
All
next
set.
meeting.
yeah, till next time.
Okay, thank you very much, have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you,
Thank
gentlemen.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's my stuff, yeah.
So I'll do a motion to pay Jill in the amount of $369 and $256.50.
Second,
All in favor?
Drew King, aye.
David Dufresne, aye? Sorry.
Derek
I was
Bailey's
reading the
aye.
next one.
Richi Hacker, aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, do a motion to approve and sign the expense sheet to Postal Services in the amount of $315 to purchase stamps for special permit mailings.
Second,
All in favor?
Drew King, aye.
David Dufresne, aye?
Derek Bailey's aye.
Okay. And then do a motion to approve and sign the May Zoom invoice for reimbursement in the amount of $16.99 to Joyce Ihawker.
Second,
All in favor?
Drew King, aye.
David Dufresne, aye?
Derek Bailey's aye.
Richi Hacker, I recuse myself.
Copy.
And then
Well, I can't do
the
the
May
minute-
8th
minutes.
minutes.
We tabled
We're
those.
Not done, we gotta table that, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. You're up.
I didn't send them to you. They were done last week.
No, I sent an email out this afternoon about them.
There's,
Yeah.
there's
They were
some
kind of
things-
messed up.
Corrections.
Yeah.
Okay. Must have came after 3:15.
I don't remember.
Okay. So Dave.
What's up with CMRPC? The letter of support?
That's the letter Karen gave you yesterday. I have it here.
We have to sign it?
No, you signed it. I think just to mention that you signed it, maybe. What it's about.
I don't have to read it, right? So, CMRPC, for the Town of Warren Planning Board, this is, our letter of support. Me as a chair board, sign it, and it's ready to go.
How about this, I'll make a motion to support the, open space and recreation plan as defined in the letter.
Can you have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
Drew King, aye.
David Dufresne, aye?
Derek Bailey's aye.
Richi Hacker, aye.
Letter motion passes. Do I have to sign it again?
No.
That's a copy.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any comments or concerns?
Beating a dead horse. The, whatever, yes, that's now in the assessor's office, trying to take care of it, but I wondered if it might be something for, not this special town meeting, but the next special town meeting or whatever, if we might look into having some rules and regulations for those containers, shipping containers. And I do understand that you can buy a shipping container and you can turn it into a home, and it can look very nice. That's not
home.
right. That's not the problem. The problem is shipping containers that people just put on their property and whatever.
Storage.
For storage, and some places they can do that, but I think to protect the community, it'd be a good idea, like something like you can't see it from the road, and it can't be in the central area unless you have permission from people, et cetera, and we'd have nothing to say that nobody can do that. They're just a big eyesore.
I think that's a good idea.
It would be a town bylaw, it would be zoned.
Right, a new town
in here.
bylaw, not ours. Would it be a zone, would it
It's
be
not a
through the
zoning.
through the planning board though? You would have to get a permit to get one.
Well, that's different. If you're just
It's
gonna,
considered a temporary structure, though.
Yeah.
you could say something like
Storage
you can,
container.
you can have a storage container for no more than 90 days.
Right,
Or, you know,
right,
something
and,
like that.
right, and then after the 90 days, and you have to specify what happens at the end of the 90 days. Are you gonna get fined, or, whatever?
Yeah, you'd have to set, you can set a fine in here, and that would be enforced by the police, not BJ, because it's not zoning.
Right. So, but just something that I thought it would be a good idea to look into. Just-
Now, the living in a storage container is definitely a zoning thing, but I don't know.
But
That's
you,
what
but you
that
can change,
entails.
there's a lot of people now that buy those and they redo them, they're beautiful.
They convert them.
Yeah, that's fine. That's like a different type of construction of a house.
Right, it's a different
But
construction.
a metal thing with chassis and
A
the
lot of people
tires,
buy
the
them to store
wheels.
farm equipment and stuff like that, too. A lot of farmers purchase them because it's cheaper to store equipment in, and they're very secure.
And we have
It
one,
takes a lot to really get into one of those things versus,
right, and we have a
and they're
couple,
cheap.
we have a couple of farms in town and they're kind of exempt from that kind of stuff, but,
But I think what you're looking at is, that's not a storage container, that's a trailer.
yes, but
It's-
also
Oh, the thing on
storage,
Cronin Road,
Right.
It's
Yeah.
a trailer.
because it's on wheels, right,
Right.
but I'm talking about storage containers too, because we don't, I
But
don't
why,
think you
why
want
couldn't that
them
fall
either.
under, well, technically not,
Well, it's not supposed to be there.
it's not a junk
If he's-
vehicle
if
because
he's
it's not
under
actually a
chapter
vehicle.
61, it can't be there.
But it's
However,
also a scenic road too,
Yeah,
so you shouldn't have it there.
yeah.
And the scenic road,
Except
that would
getting-
be enforced by BJ though.
Getting anything enforced is the problem, because he's just gonna fight back about it. But anyway, I thought for shipping containers, I thought that might be an idea for something, because I don't, if they get, I guess they get dumped in the United States, because they don't want them shipped back to China, and so they get dumped here, and they sell them pretty cheap. And, who's to say that instead of a shed, somebody wants a storage container in their backyard, and I think to
People buy
protect,
them all the time.
yeah, to protect the community from rusting hulks, but maybe not. I know they do. Just a thought.
I think it's a good thought. Maybe if it doesn't look that old and rusty.
And they have Pepsi on it. You can't see it much now. Because of
You
the
still can see it. I can.
Yeah, but I mean the
I
vegetation.
get home and I'm looking for a Pepsi,
The vegetation is there, that helps a lot.
but it's not enough.
No, it's not enough.
Any other comments or concerns?
no?
I just want to propose
You're
that
proposing?
I'm proposing a comment
Oh.
that we should look into our bylaws and, you know, try to, cap, pits, yeah, destroy the land, and animals and trees and plants suffer from that. It doesn't give us a lot of taxes either.
No. I drove out to go past the one that was proposed. There's another one that's open and just sitting there. And I know that Mr. Fountain had mentioned that some people just kind of walk away from them, and I don't know if this one, but it's just an eyesore. And it's on the same road.
Near town,
Nearer, closer to town.
that's his too.
That's his too, because it's just, it's just kind
Is
of.
it the one across the street?
No, not
From
from
him?
that. I'm not really sure. It doesn't look like a really big one. It's down that road. It's before the one that he's gonna do. And it's on the opposite side of the road. I don't know who's-
Yeah, that's the one he was talking about, somebody else had.
Yep.
That one's not his.
Well, that one after the
one's
Mass
way
Pike?
back in the woods. You can't see it from the road.
Right.
Which one?
The one that's next to this one.
Oh, yeah, that one's way back in, over there.
There is one that you can see by the road. It's right.
No,
it's
I
right there.
think she's talking about the one after Mass Pike. If you're coming from Greenfield, you cross the Mass Pike, and then there's a road to the left that goes to the middle school, to the elementary school, and then as you go down, it's to the right. 'Cause,
Yep.
you can, it's a shame, I can see the neighbor's house, and I see through his house, his trees, and I see the whole thing of it.
You're talking about that apartment building?
No, just put it on the, over there, and go to the Mass Pike in 19. We just approved it.
Samick.
So get that corner in,
Here?
yeah, zoom in there. See, there's a road to the left, just after that, going north. Keep going north,
This one?
that one.
Yeah, that's,
Well, that's an old picture. It doesn't look like that anymore.
is this the one that had the apartment building?
No, the one you're talking about, it's down south. If you keep going south after Mass Pike. That's the Mass Pike, keep going. It's a big hike.
What?
There,
Which one, here?
that one,
Oh, this one?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
This one, I should go down there and just write down the number. of
It's
the-
right in front of
the
that one, and
street.
now the new one
This is the hidden
south
one.
of there.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the.
That's
hidden
gonna
one.
be where the new one is
The
gonna
new one is gonna be
be. Right, you
right,
passed it,
right
right
here.
there.
I don't remember this other one up here, though.
Which one?
Oops. Did we, when we were doing inspections, did we do,
No, that's completely new, and that, we just approved that one a few months ago. That's where the,
This
that's where
one
that
is
60 by
right-
120,
The one that I'm talking about is right on top of the road. I have to go and, I could drive down there.
and then there's another one going up north,
Yeah.
that one. And then there's another one up north, that
Okay.
one,
Yeah, I'll have to look.
all right, so wait a minute, where's the highway barn?
right there, where you have your mouse.
This is highway?
Up, go up, that's the barn.
That's highway, this is Fountain.
That's Fountain and.
Oh, this is
All
Fountain.
that is that pit.
No, this is way farther down. I'll go drive over there and see if I can come up with a number.
What's this one? Oh, this
That's
used to be
Feejels. That used to be
Feejels.
Feejels.
Yep. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, you have
I'll
to-
look,
Yeah.
because I did drive over and see the place that he was proposing to do it.
Yeah, we should look into it, put a cap, I mean, A town full of pits is not very,
No, but I do understand where he's coming from the fact that, that particular type of sand is very, difficult to run across, and they do need it for building houses. And
So,
So,
I kinda gotta stop you guys, because we're talking about
Yeah, now we're
specifics
getting back to
to a
specific.
permit, and we're discussing
Yeah.
it again, and they're not here,
yeah, well, anyway.
so,
Well,
I'm sorry, I
not-
just don't want anybody to get in trouble.
Not his, but I do understand that sometimes when they're looking for a gravel pit, they're looking for a specific type of material to build homes. And I understand that, and I don't have any problem with it as long as they take it and restore the land after they're done.
15 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, progress too, you gotta be
It takes a
able to
long
build
time,
homes.
and then you gotta remember, when they clear those sites too, and they level them off, because they're taking down hills,
Yep,
large areas, they're leveling it down, and that's buildable land now,
Yeah, that's my only hope.
so.
But then, you know,
yeah,
call me crazy, but hate to see all those trees go away.
oh, I know,
All the animals lose their houses.
yep, and
And
the
then-
the bears end up in my
And the
house.
potential, you know, potential
End up in everybody's house.
changing the watersheds of all the
Oh,
region.
yeah.
That's a big
Agreed.
thing.
Agreed.
They should, so, just like we did this with the solar arrays, you know, put a cap, put some kind of something. I don't want Warren to be.
Maybe a cap
town.
on how many can be open at one time.
Yeah.
That would be better than just saying you can't have any more gravel pits, period.
You know, I wasn't
Well,
born
because they
here.
run out of material, and then they close, and then they need a new
Right, and they
place to
need a
go.
new place to go. And I do understand that around here, there's a lot of gravel and a lot of,
Mm.
you know, a lot of places. When we built our veterinary clinic, they told us, they said, you do realize that you could take this building down because what's underneath this building is worth a fortune. The sand.
Okay, any other more concerns,
No?
comments from Zoom? Do you have anybody in Zoom?
I think the last person just left.
Geology is very interesting. And how come this building doesn't shake when a train goes by?
Because it's built well.
It's too far away.
When I lived in West Brookfield, I was further away and our house would shake every time.
Probably there was sand underneath.
I don't
Ledge.
Yeah, could be.
I think
Okay,
it's time to go home, right?
yeah, next meeting, June 12th.
Yep,
Motion to adjourn.
so moved. Drew King, aye. Second.
So,
So moved. Drew King, aye.
so Drew seconded it,
All in favor?
Drew King, aye.
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Richi Hacker, aye.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Those minutes are from the